Hi there, I'm John Bond from Riverwinds Consulting, and this is Publishing Defined. Today I'm going to be talking about how to translate a manuscript's word count into the size of a finished book. First, there is no quick answer or single formula. Word count gives you a useful estimate, but it does not determine page count in any fixed way. Why? Because a manuscript is not a book yet. It is raw text. A finished book is a designed object, and design choices matter a great deal. If you're working in a standard manuscript format such as Word or Pages, a useful rule of thumb is that one page usually holds about 250 to 300 words. That is helpful when you're assessing the length of a draft or comparing it to expectations. But that number changes once the book is typeset. A printed page in a finished paperback may hold far more or far fewer words depending on trim, size, fonts, margins, and line spacing. That distinction matters because writers often ask the wrong question. They ask, how many pages will this be? When what they really need to know is, how big is this work and how likely it will be in the marketplace? Those are related questions, but they are not the same. For fiction, for example, a 70,000 word novel might feel substantial on the page, but its final page count could vary dramatically depending on whether it is formatted as a compact trade paperback or a larger format hardcover. The same manuscript can look lean in one design and expansive in another. So if you're trying to estimate the finished length, start with the likely publishing format, not just the word count. For nonfiction, textbooks, or monographs, you'll need to consider the number of images and tables and the like in estimating the page count. Here is the practical approach I recommend. First, get the actual word count, not an approximation, not a guess. Second, decide what kind of book you're imagining. A 5x8 paperback will produce a very different page count from a 6x9 edition. Find similar books and do quick word counts on sample pages and add them up. Third, use that word count as a planning tool rather than a promise. Divide the title words by the likely word per page range for that format and you'll get a rough estimate of page count. But the deeper lesson is more interesting than the math. Word count is not just a measure of length, it is also a measure of the pacing of the work. A tightly written 50,000 word manuscript can feel more complete than a sprawling 80,000 word one if every scene earns its place. Experienced writers know this, but it's worth saying plainly. The goal is not to hit a page count. The goal is to make the structure and pacing and chapters justify the space that the book occupies. So if you want the best translation from manuscript to book size, use word count as your starting point, trim size as your multiplier, and design as the final determining factor. Don't forget images and tables. In publishing, pages are the consequence of choices. Word count is just the first one. Well, that's it. I'm a publishing consultant and work with associations and publishers and individuals on a host of content-related challenges. Reach out to me at riverwindsconsulting.com with your questions. I'm the author of a 3-book series with Bloomsbury Publishing called The Little Guides. One covers getting a book published, one a journal article published, and the other giving a poster presentation. See the link in the notes below for more information. Hit the like button below if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or click on the link to see the first video in my series on getting your book published. And make comments below or email me with any questions. Thanks so much and take care.